What is going on? Welcome to the Level Up lesson. Today I'm going to talk about how to track your food with ease. And I'm your boy, Coach Raj, and I'm going to help you out. Okay, now for my clients watching this that couldn't make the live training, the reason I am speaking like this is because I'm going to be creating a YouTube channel. Okay, I already have one, but it was for something else. Now I'm going to make it more for Level Up, the total body transformation program, all that good stuff. Put all my lessons there. So it's out there for the world to understand. Okay, so today we're going to talk about macros, calorie counting, things like that to help. Okay, so why is calorie counting healthy? Okay, why is it a good thing when a lot of people look at it like it's a bad thing? It's the villain. It's gonna make your relationship with food really bad. Because I used to be that person. I used to think, I don't really need to count this stuff. I'm gonna look at the food as a number, and I don't really want that. I want to just enjoy food for food. But as I start to understand, that there's a reason food has numbers equated to it. Because if it didn't matter, there wouldn't be numbers equated to your food, right? The proteins, the calories, the fats, the carbs. Like if it really didn't matter, science would not have given you that expertise. So when I started to realize that, I started to realize, okay, like they do actually matter. And I think it's healthy to actually understand how much is in each thing because what I used to do is when I didn't do it, I'd binge throughout the weekend. And what I mean by that is I would eat really well from Monday to probably even Saturday night, and then Sunday would be my cheat day. So I'd have like one or two cheat meals in that day. And I would eat as much as I could because throughout the week I was just restricting myself like crazy. I was like eating super clean. I would ruin all the progress by that one Sunday because I would start eating things that honestly I didn't even crave anymore. And I realized that was the problem when I started eating pizzas and burgers and ice cream every single that was I literally had that every Sunday for 6 months. And I realized it was becoming a problem when I was like, I'm not even craving this anymore. I actually just want to have a grilled chicken sandwich with some avocado and ketchup in it. And maybe have a little bit of fries on the side instead of having two whole big ass cheat meals. So when I started to realize that was the problem, I started to look into calorie counting and really understand it, okay? Because it helps you eat intuitively later on. It helps you manage portion sizes. It helps you fit your favorite foods with balance. You don't have to feel guilty for eating carbs, fats, and sugars once you understand what they are and how much each food has. And you will get the right amount of protein for your goals, okay? Because it empowers you to make better choices when you understand what the calories are and how to track your macros, okay? So, what are macros? It's usually the number one question I get. Coach Raj, what the hell are macros? So, there's three, okay? And the big three are protein, carbs, and fats. I mean, there's only three. I just call them the big three, okay? So, proteins are the things that builds and preserves muscle. So, things like chicken, eggs, protein powder, tofu, Greek yogurt, things like that. Protein is a muscle building block. You need it to build muscle. Okay. Carbs also help build muscle, but the main source of a carb is your body's main energy source. So quick energy. So things like rice, fruit, potatoes, things like that. Carbs help you gain that quick energy, that burst of energy you need right before workouts or throughout the day. But fats, they help support hormonal balance as well as give you long lasting energy throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. You need fats. So like avocado, olive oil, nuts, all those things matter. You don't want to really cut out one, or you don't need to. You don't need to in order to enjoy your life. Okay, unless you have some kind of extreme health condition where you have to go on a keto diet, that makes a little bit more sense to me, right? But you don't. If you have no insane health condition, which 99% of people don't, then you don't need to cut out anything. Okay. Again, the big three are for energy, muscle gain, and to help you lose fat. Okay, because when you build muscle by understanding how to portion these out, you will understand how to keep fat off and build muscle, okay? And everybody's different, right? Everybody needs a different amount of protein, carbs, and fats, right? And that's a completely different lesson. But and today it's just about what are they and how do you track these things, okay? So best practices, in my opinion, are understanding nutrition labels, using MyFitnessPal or like any kind of food tracking app, the food scale, and then the picture diet. That's something I honestly think I made up. I'd never seen this before until I spoke about it a few months ago in some of my content. That one's usually the easiest one to kind of get you going in a sense, okay? So understanding the nutrition label. Can I move this? Yeah, perfect. So if you want to portion food without tracking an app, you need to know how to read the label. Okay, you're going to need to know how to track it in order to, actually track it in an app and how to read the label. But before you even track things, just understanding the label is going to make the biggest difference. Okay, so your macros again are the protein, which is usually at the bottom, your carbs, which is usually somewhere in the middle, and then your fats are always on top. Okay, so how do you make it fit? How much per serving? All you got to do is simply divide and multiply the stats you have here. Okay, so the serving size here is 2 ounces. Okay, it's 190 calories for 2 ounces. So example, one serving, 190 calories, 3 grams of fat, 35 grams of carbs. Where is it? Right there. And then 11 grams of protein. Oh my God, excuse me. Now, let's say you only have 100 calories left for the day, right? Now, you probably don't want to go over your calories by like 100. Okay, here and there, it's not the end of the world, but on a daily basis, you don't want to be going over your calories by like 100 every single day, right? So what do? All you need to do is divide this by half, right? Because that's going to put you at under 100 calories that you have left. So one serving, so this serving divided by 2. That's it. Right, it's going to give you to 80. It's going to get you to 85 calories, 1.5 grams of fat, 17.5 grams of carbs, and 5.5 grams of protein per 1 ounce. So that will help you a lot when it comes to understanding. Okay, if I only have X amount of calories left, just divide this. Right, divide the portion size up if the portion on the label isn't within the calories you have left. Right, that's one way to do it, and then it helps you understand how to track it later on. So that would be the easiest way. Then that's the way I do it. Like hands down, that's the exact way I do it. I'm like, okay, if I only have this much left, I'll just divide and conquer and things like that, right? And even when you're making your calories throughout the day, you could even figure out, okay, based on the foods I want and how much I want to eat of this and how much I want to eat of that, how much protein I need, I can just divide and conquer these things. Now, let's say the biggest difference is some people want to gain weight, right? Okay, well, then all you have to do is multiply this, right? You can multiply it by 1.5 by 2. Again, if you have 400 calories left and one serving is 190 calories, you can multiply by 2. You could even have this, right? So you multiply by 2, 380 calories, 6 grams of fat, 70 grams of carbs, 22 protein, right? So that's for 4 ounces. The big thing, which I'll touch on when we go to the food scale, is really understanding the relation between the portion size, which is 2 ounces, in relation to everything here. And really all that is you divide and multiply. That's all you have to do, okay? Now, MyFitnessPal. Oh, I don't like that this is up here. Okay. So easiest way to track, because honestly, MyFitnessPal has, a million different things when you search up chicken breast, chicken thigh, tofu, Greek yogurt, right? It'll give you like a bunch of different brands, a bunch of different options. So one of the easier ways to go about to figure out which one is the most accurate is use the code DIY body. Okay, use like if you're gonna have halibut DIY body, tilapia DIY body, oats DIY body, chicken DIY body, protein powder. That's actually not protein powder. Well, you could if you want to, but everything DIY body. Okay. Now, what is that? That DIY body is he's a coach that I actually used to work with in a mentorship. I was in a coaching mentorship before. He was in there. He was a coach in there. And he created this. So he created this DIY body in fitness. I don't know how he did it. It's pretty impressive, but his are the most accurate. I trust them. This will take out the issue of which one do I choose, right? So that's the first tip when you do MyFitnessPal is to just search things with DIY. If it doesn't have DIY body, then obviously just like use the one that's closest to what you have, okay? Now, how to track it. I like to make the grams equal to 1, okay? So 1 gram cooked. So when we talk about halibut and if you talk about Greek yogurt or anything you're measuring, it'll give you the option of 1 gram cooked or just 1 gram, right? You're not going to cook a Greek yogurt, right? So I like to just equal out the serving to 1 gram. And then the serving size is simply what I measured on the scale, okay? Which I'll go over right after this. But if you can put it out to 1 gram, it makes your life easier because then you could decide, okay, I'm going to do 120 grams. Okay, well, it's just going to show me everything in here that's worth 120 grams. Super easy, super simple, honestly. Then all you have to do is just add it to the diary. So once it's here, okay, you put in, I measured out 120 grams of chicken breast or whatever it is, or here, halibut. You just press add to diary and it'll add in here. And then for my clients that are watching this, obviously when you guys do it and you have it synced to my app, I can see what your day looks like. I can see what you're eating, makes life easy for me and you, and I can just give you tips based on that. And that way I'm like, hey, Keto, you had this, you had this, you had this, we can actually cut this in half based on the nutrition label training that I just did, right? So things like that make your life easy. What if you're measuring in cups? Some people don't have a scale, right? So if you're measuring cups, cool, no problem. Just change it to a cup. Right? It's so easy that MyFitnessPal has all these other options. I think it has like cups, ounce, it has like anything that you're measuring, it will have. So try that out, and then you can just change it appropriately, right? And even if you just have a berry, right? I'm just having 5 strawberries, cool. Or what is it here? Strawberries, cool. Just put per 1 berry, and then serving size is 5. Bam, easy peasy. Okay. Now the food scale. Now there's nothing really too insane about this. It's super easy to use and it makes life so much quicker when you measure things out if you're at that point in your fitness journey. you can change the metric to match what's easier for you, right? So on here, it says unit. You can change it to grams, ounces, milliliters, liters, like anything. Tablespoons as well. It's easier to track on MyFitnessPal because, again, let me go back to it just to show you guys. When you do serving size is 1 gram cooked, and then you can just simply put, I had 120 grams, easy. All that's going to be tracked there for you. You don't have to guess and can be very accurate with it, and it helps with fitting all the foods you love, right? Like I said, like moderation is super key. Okay, that's how I'm able to keep that up. That's why every client that comes through here and all of you guys that are watching this and are my clients, you guys will keep it off because you're understanding that it's okay to track. And honestly, like I would say once you get like a good 4 to 6 months under your belt, and then you're just ready to maintain, right? For the rest of your life, you can maintain pretty well, right? Enjoy a lot of food, have things that you want to eat. Then intuitive eating becomes easier. And the best thing is, let's say you're recognizing, hey, I'm working out really hard, I'm putting in the work, but the body composition doesn't look the same. I don't really look like that lean that I had maybe 6 months ago. Cool. Then just go back to tracking the food a little bit. Maybe, you're off by quite a bit sometimes, right? When we go back to intuitive eating, sometimes it can happen, and I do it too. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I feel like I'm not hitting my protein goal. Let me just track the protein every day. I'll do that for a little while, and then I'm good to go. I don't need to track it again for a little while. So it's super easy to go back to once you realize, oh, you know what? I just want to clean things up a little bit. Makes life easier. Now the picture diet. Now I will open that up, and we can watch that as well. But the picture diet is probably the easiest way to integrate yourself into like understanding food and tracking it. So really all it is week 1, you're going to take a picture of the foods you are currently eating for the week. Don't go on a diet. Don't do anything crazy. Just track the foods you're eating currently. Okay. Second week, look at the plate, and the food and change the portion size on the plate. Okay. If you're figuring out, hey, you know what, when I am putting into MyFitnessPal, I'm really low on my protein, but for me, my calories are high. Then look, are you just, oh my God, sorry, I'm not taking this out, guys. I will edit it where I can, but this is life. We all get tired. We all yawn. It's okay. When you're looking at the plate and the food and you're like, oh, why is the protein really low and my calories really high? Well, maybe your plate is honestly like half filled with carbs, quarter filled with fats, and then like a quarter filled with protein. Well, we should change that. We should maybe make it half the plate protein and then a quarter carb, a quarter fat, right? So you could do that as well, and just kind of play around with it. Obviously, if you're my client, you guys can just send me pictures and I will tell you what to change. Very easy. But usually you need to cut down on carbs and increase the protein on the plate. I spelled protein wrong, but it's okay. You can also start by simply cutting down the overall amount of food on the plate, right? If you're just at a place where you're just trying to kind of get into a calorie deficit, eat a little bit less, then you know what? Maybe you're having 4 meals a day and they're huge portion sizes. Just cut them down by like a half, or cut them down by like take out 1/3 of the plate instead of half, right? Things like that can help you really understand. Another thing is make sure you add your freaking veggies into your freaking diet, okay? A lot of you guys are not eating it. I'm guilty of it too sometimes, okay? So that's why I'm really putting it in there. Eat the fucking veggies. Put it on your plate. It's so much easier, okay? Now, I will open this up.
If you are sick and tired of being overweight, then the picture diet is the best diet if you want to lose the weight, especially because you don't have to count calories. Because all you need to do is start taking pictures of the food you're currently eating. And after a week of doing this, all I want you to do is simply cut down on the foods that you see in the picture. So instead of chips, just add some veggies instead. Instead of 2 slices, just have 1. And instead of 1 little piece of chicken breast, have 2. So now you decrease the calories, increase the protein and fiber, which helps in your calorie deficit. And the picture diet works really well for anybody that has a busy schedule or has a bad relationship with food. And if you want to lose fat and keep it off for good, follow me and make sure to fill out the application on my page.
That last part, the best part. But anyways, how do I zoom out of this now? Screw, damn it. Oh, perfect. Come on. There we go. So yeah, that's essentially it. Very easy. Very simple, very like common way to kind of implement it, okay? And why is it not going to the next one? There we go. And yeah, all of you guys have probably seen these ladies on my story, but all of them counted calories, started understanding their calories and their macros, and made it work within their diet. Right now, obviously I gave them a bunch of the meals to help them out, but over time, things became so much easier. Right? And it's a big thing I would say when it comes to really understanding your macros and calories. I would honestly say start with this, okay? Start with just making sure that your calories are on point and you're hitting your protein goal. If you do those 2 things, literally for like the first 3 months, I promise you, you're gonna start seeing a big difference. You start seeing a big difference like right away, but you're gonna get to a place where it feels really good. And then your macros, right? The carbs and fats, tracking those just becomes very easy when you have a certain amount you're supposed to hit, and you can start understanding the label a little bit better. You know what? You can even apply this when you only have like 30 grams of carbs left. Or let's say you only have 20 grams of carbs left. Again, divide it by two, right? 35 grams of carbs in a full serving. You know what? I'm just going to divide it by two. Maybe I'll divide it by a little bit more, and then I'll get to the number that I need. So things like that make a very big difference, okay? But yeah, other than that, that's really all it is, guys. So let me know if you have questions, right? Put in if this is gonna go on my YouTube. Now I'm gonna have a YouTube. Put this in the comments. Ask questions in the comments. I will answer them. I'll even make more videos and teachings on it once you put them in the comments. And yeah, let's kill it, crush it. If you have any questions, if you're my client, shoot me a message.